Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenny. Today's video is going to be a wear test and a first impressions of some of the new ColourPop complexion products. The first one that I have is the No Filter Foundation. I have mine in the shade Light 65. I did go ahead and pick up the No Filter Concealer, which I really do like, and I got the shade Light 18, which used to be Light 20, and I did pick up the ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder in Translucent. How I'm going to do this video is I am going to do a first impressions. I have not tried the powder or the foundation on yet. I have swatched to kind of see how they feel and to make sure the shade was going to be right, and I think it is, so we will see. But then I am going to do a couple check-ins throughout the day so you can see how it wears. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in, and we are going to see how this applies. So I did go ahead and prime my face with the ColourPop Amethyst Crystal Priming Spray. I really like this. And I figured since it's ColourPop, it should play nicely together, so we'll find out. So first I'm going to go in with the foundation, which I said I have it in the shade Light 65. I do not like the fact that this doesn't come with a cap. It's just like a twist, like to lock it closed or whatever. I hate that it doesn't have a cap because this gets all gunky and stuff. It would have been really nice to have a cap. So I am going to go ahead and just pump some on the back of my hand, and as you can see, it's a tad bit watery and runny in formulation. So I'm just going to dot this, or streak it, or whatever, all over my face. I'm going to do this half with a brush and this half with a sponge because I usually apply with a brush, but I have been applying with a sponge and I have been liking how that looks with other foundations. So I am going to go ahead and just see how this wears doing both. The brush I'm going to be using is the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki. It's the F80. So I can definitely see a difference in my skin. It doesn't cover the dark circles very well, and my redness on my cheeks does peek through a little bit, but down here the skin tone is a lot, and up here it's a lot more even. The color is pretty decent, so I do think I did a pretty good job color matching. It's starting to kind of show a little bit of my texture on my cheeks. I don't know that I want to go in with another coat because I think once I put concealer in this area, I think that's going to cover it, and down here and up here looks nice. So I am not going to add another layer. I would say with a brush, this is probably medium verging on full coverage. It's not completely full coverage though. So now taking it on this side. I'm just going to take, I'm going to take the butt end of my Eco Tools blending sponge. And then probably, you know, take the flat side for around the face, but we'll just go ahead and start blending. So using a sponge with this foundation definitely shears it out a bit. It didn't cover any of the redness on my cheek. I don't know if you can tell or not, but in the redness that I have down here on my jawline. And I don't know if that's because of the sponge or if that's because of the foundation. But my guess is probably the sponge, because I think with a brush I think it would have covered up more. So I did go in and just kind of dab this in the foundation on the back of my hand, and I'm just going in and kind of covering those areas a little more. So overall, I think I like the brush side better. I think it applied a little more evenly. I don't know, I just think this side looks a little weird compared to the brush side, but that's just me. If you can tell a difference, which side do you think is better? Since this is slightly lighter than the other side in coverage, I am going to go ahead and just add a tiny bit more. So overall, I just don't like the way that this side looks, so as of now, I would definitely apply it with a brush every time I use it. So now I'm going to go in with the concealer, and like I said, I have it in Light 18. I'm just going to apply this right under the eyes. Now, I do already like this concealer, so this isn't really a first impressions of this product. but I wanted to see how the concealer and the foundations play together. Going in with the flat side of the EcoTools blending sponge, I'm just going to blend this out. So far each side doesn't look any different, so I mean it applied nicely on top in both applications, so far so good. So now what I'm going to do is use the translucent setting powder, and I'm going to set my under eyes and my T-zone. I don't want to put it all over my face just yet because I don't know how it works, so for all over the rest of my face I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild pressed powder in Neutral Buff, and that's what that looks like. Because I did not get one of the pressed powders. And this is more of like a yellowy translucent powder. It's not really translucent to me. It's more of just like a yellowy kind of beigey color. So what I'm going to do is blend out the under eyes one more time to make sure that it's not creasing up. And then just set. Okay, so far with this powder, and I don't know what it is, certain foundations and powders on me, it's like right here on my cheeks, you know, where most of my redness is that I try to cover up. When I put the powder on, even if I press and not like rub, it pulls it off a little bit, so now my redness is starting to peek through a little bit. Usually once I put blush and everything on, it's fixable and manageable and you don't really notice it. Since these powders are, you know, supposed to play well together, I feel like it shouldn't do that. So this is the final foundation look. So far I like the brush application better, and I think it blended nicely both ways. Honestly, it blended out nicely and it applied evenly, but I just think I enjoy the brush application better than sponge. The concealer, I already told you that I like. The powder feels a bit dry, but I did apply a lot of it, so I'm not going to hold that against it for now. So I am going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face and my eye look, and then I will be back so we can discuss the check-ins and stuff like that. So let me finish that and I'll be back. So now that I have everything on, this is the final look. The powders, like my contour, bronzer, blush, highlight, everything blended really, really nicely on top of it. So I do think it looks really, really nice right now. It is 9:15 a.m. here, so I am going to do a couple check-ins. I'm going to do a check-in around 2 or 3 p.m. and then I will do a final check-in around 8 or 9 when I take all of this off. So first I just want to talk a little bit about the products. The foundation is described as a natural matte finish, which I guess I can kind of see that. I think natural matte's a good description for it because it is not quite matte, but it's not dewy, so I do think that's a nice description for it. There are 42 shades of this foundation, I believe, which is really, really nice that they have such a nice shade range. And this foundation retails for $12, which I think is a decent price. I do hate the fact that there is not a cap. I got foundation all over everything just now, and I don't even know how it happened, but it was all over my vanity, my pants, my hands, my chair, it was all over everything, and I don't know how that happened, but it was, and I'm going to blame it on the cap. The No Filter Concealer also has a ton of shades. I'm not sure how many, but there is a lot. And this concealer is $6, which I think is a great price for a concealer. There are 3 shades of the loose powder. There's Translucent, Banana, and Translucent Deep, and each powder retails for $9. So like I said a few minutes ago, I think it looks really, really nice now, but we will see at the halfway point, so I will check in around 2 or 3 o'clock to see how it looks then. So it is now 2:50 in the 2:51 in the afternoon, so I am going to go ahead and do a little bit of a check-in for you. So I'm going to zoom you in and let's see what it looks like. So I'm looking at the foundation and I can definitely see right around the tip of my nose it's rubbed off a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I definitely see nose redness. And right in through here on my chin, it's starting to get a little bunchy, and right around my nose is too. I have smile lines right here, but that's not unusual with foundations on me anyway. Forehead looks good. Cheeks and jaw looks good. Right here is starting to break up a little though, which also is not uncommon on me. My nose tends to like eat foundation, so I am going to take a little bit more of that translucent powder and just set in this area again. Go ahead and set the smile lines a little bit too. Yeah, I can definitely see it breaking up really bad around the tip of my nose and then bunching up around the edges of my nose, so I'm not a huge fan of that. But let's see how it wears for the rest of the day. So halfway through the day, it's not looking too bad. I haven't done a whole lot today, so I haven't been getting sweaty or anything like that. So far, I don't hate the way it's wearing. I will check in again around 8, 9, maybe 10 o'clock. Not sure when I'm going to end up taking this off. So halfway through the day, it's not looking too bad, but we will see at the end of the day. So I will see you in a few hours for the final check-in. So it is now 7:43 p.m. It has been almost 11 hours of wear. So now I'm going to zoom you in so you can see what 11 hours of wear looks like. So I'm looking in the mirror, and it doesn't look a whole lot different from the first check-in. It is still coming off around my nose. It's basically gone right on the tip, and it's starting to kind of come up right here, which I'm not enjoying, and on the chin too. I don't know if you're going to be able to see any of this, but I definitely do. It's getting kind of bunched up right here around my mouth where my mouth moves, and I like chew on the inside of my cheeks, so there's a lot of lines and stuff. I have a very expressive face, so like in the lines of my face, it's kind of sinking into those lines, and I'm not a fan of that either. The chin here and like the forehead up here, all of that still looks pretty good to me after 11 hours of wear. I think it looks pretty nice, especially for the first try. I also look a bit shiny here too. For it to be demi-matte or whatever it's called, I expected it to be a little more matte. Yeah, like right here, completely gone. And like bunchy right here. Can you see that? Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, it's just not a good look. So now I'm going to zoom you out so I can tell you my final thoughts on today's wear test. So obviously this was just a wear test. This is the first time I've ever tried these products. So I am going to try like the foundation with other powders, and I'm going to try the powder with other foundations and just see how well they play, because if you watched my Flower Beauty complexion product review and demo, I will link it up here for you in case you're interested. Those products didn't play well together, but they worked decent like with other products. So maybe that's how these are. So I'm going to try them with other foundations and other powders and see how that works and let you know. I'm probably going to need some time to do that. I will give you an update on these powders in my July favorites videos, whether or not they were good or bad or in between. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell down below so you can be notified when I upload that video. As of today's wear test, I am not blown away, but I mean, I'm honestly really not that disappointed either. After 11 hours of wear, most foundations like are completely gone in this area on me because I use my hands on my face a lot, so I'm really surprised that this area looks really nice. This is very disappointing. Based on first impressions, I'm not that excited about these, but I am going to give them another shot. The only product I still enjoy is the concealer, and that's because I've liked it for a while now, but as far as the foundation and the powder go, I'm not blown away by them, but I am willing to give them their fair shot and mix them in with other things, and hopefully they'll work that way. And I will let you know in my July favorites video. So I'm gonna go take all of this off. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you would like to subscribe, please feel free, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.